Hi, everyone. This is Dr. William Clark. So excited to be with you for this important call. We're going to be going over funding and pricing strategies for your business. This is a Q&A session that we're having for this particular call. And I'm super excited to have this conversation because those of you who are on this call, you all are business owners, small business owners who are growing your business. You're looking to continue to provide for your families and also provide for your customers. And you've sent in these questions for conversation, for exploration. And I'm excited that you're here for this call and this conversation. I'm looking forward to exploring these topics with you and walking you through some of my experiences, as well as walking you through research that I've done, advisement that we've given our clients, things that we have done and seen that are successful that can help your business grow. Now, before we start through going through these questions, I want to tell you just a little bit about me. So I'm the CEO of Eli Patrick and Co. It's a company that I founded in 2016, and we are nonprofit strategists. So we advise our clients in the areas of strategic planning, fundraising planning, grant writing, as well as leadership development. Our focus and our goal is to help nonprofits become more sustainable so that they can be around for a very long time to help their customers who need them the most. We've been in this business since 2016. My career has been connected to the nonprofit industry and connected to public service. And so this is a part of my career trajectory. But I've also operated other businesses throughout my career as well that have not been connected to the nonprofit industry. So I've been fortunate to have a number of experiences that has informed the information I'm going to share with you today, but also has had an impact on my ability to work with and advise other businesses along the way. So, as we go through these questions, my hope is that you are in a place of learning, a place of deep reflection. And after this call, my hope is also that you're engaging in deeper conversation with your colleagues, your peers, your competitors, your coaches, to further explore this conversation so that you're able to find out the information you need to find out that applies to you and where you're going in your business. We're going to start this call talking about funding strategies for your business. I have four questions here that I'm going to go through. And once we go through those questions, then I'm going to go through pricing strategies for your business. And I have about six questions there. So let's start with funding strategies for your business. So here's the first question. What advice would you give an entrepreneur seeking funding for the first time? Well, this is my personal opinion. I recommend bootstrapping your business, bootstrap funding your business as you're seeking funding for the first time, second time, third time, fourth time, etc. And so for me, bootstrapping focuses on five different categories. Number one, utilizing cash that you have access to fund your business. Number two, looking into utilizing any savings or retirement funds that you may have to fund your business. And retirement funds can be funny and dicey depending on who you talk to for advice. But something to think about is your retirement account is there for a time that you envision that you will no longer be working. If you're the type of entrepreneur that you believe that you'll be working for quite a long time, and you believe that you'll be working in your business or working on some type of business opportunity for quite some time, then it might be in your best interest to look at how can you leverage and strategically use any funds you've set aside for retirement so that you can invest in your business today and perhaps grow your retirement account or an investment account that can be used if you decide to stop working at some point. Number three, when it comes to bootstrapping, and I say this cautiously with number three, you want to consider utilizing credit that you're capable of paying back quickly. So that's super important. That's a caveat for us that I strongly consider. What's my ability to pay back this debt as quickly as possible? Because we don't seek to leverage or over leverage our company with debt. And quite frankly, I try to stay away from debt as much as possible. So if you decide to take on debt, we recommend looking at utilizing debt or credit that you're able to pay back as quickly as possible. Number four, when available, utilizing grant opportunities to help fund your business. There are not a lot of funding opportunities for profit businesses. However, they do come about every now and again, and you want to make sure that you are pursuing these opportunities when you determine that you are qualified and you may be a good fit. Doesn't guarantee that you'll land the opportunity because it can be super competitive. And if you look around the number of people on this particular call, you may realize that there may be a number of people who may be pursuing the same grant opportunity that you're looking for. So it doesn't guarantee that you will land the opportunity. However, if you're able to identify opportunities and then secure it, it can be a wonderful boost to your business. Then, lastly, my favorite way to bootstrap your business when it comes to funding is to utilize the earnings from your business to grow the business. So, this is reinvesting dollars in your business. The only way you can do this effectively is to aggressively pursue sales, revenue, cash flow, reinvesting back into the business as much as you can to continue to grow it and to fund it, whether it's for the first time, the fifth time, or the 10th time. All right, so here's the second question. What strategies have you used to secure your business's investments, loans, and grants? Some of this is going to sound repetitive because I want to be consistent in what I'm saying. But we've used debt to a very limited degree. When we launched our company, we launched it debt free. The only debt that we use for our business today are our credit cards that we use for daily operations, where we're swiping a card to pay for apps or subscriptions or business odds and ends. We do not utilize debt to pay staff. I don't utilize debt to pay my salary at all. So we use debt to a very limited degree. Secondly, what I've used to secure my business revenue is I have sought to generate multiple revenue streams to support my business. So when we started the business, I was still employed at the time. So my place of employment, I utilized those funds to help support the business. And so I became very frugal, was aggressive in my savings, set aside dollars from my earned income at my employer site to fund my business. Number two, while I was still employed, I was growing the business and I was generating revenue with friends and partners, people who believed in me, people who were looking to support me, people who were in a position to hire our company to do the work that we said that we could do. And this became super instrumental because now, not only did I have earned income from my employer, I was generating revenue from subcontracts or small contracts from friends and partners and believers. And then thirdly, we also started to generate new revenue and sales from people who did not know us. So from our ability to market and sell our services and products, we were able to secure a new business. And this all happened while I was still employed. These are strategies I continue to utilize in our business, even though I'm running my business full time. So this is super important. Where appropriate, I have taken on investment, but not investments in the business. I take on investments per project, and I'll continue to address this throughout my Q&A. But when I'm taking on a new project and I'm looking for project partners or equity partners for a particular project, I'm looking for folks who can invest their time, their resources, their people into a particular project. And this kind of feeds into question three. So let me read off question three, and then I'll talk about investments in a moment. Here's question three. How do you decide between different funding sources, whether it's investments, loans, and grants? So again, I look to avoid debt. And so that is something that I do not look to engage in because I don't want to saddle the business. When it comes to investments, this is where I was talking about working with partners who I call equity partners in a project. Very similar to if you look at real estate projects or investments, and there's a call for investors for this new development that's going up. These folks are called to be a part of a singular project or a singular LLC. Once the project is done or fully developed or disposed of, and the LLC goes away, partners who are equity partners receive their payout throughout the life cycle of the project, and at the end, that same philosophy that I just described, I have taken it to my work as a consultant, where we sell services and some products. And so as we look to launch new products, new services, or we're responding to an opportunity, I look for equity partners to come on board and be a part of what we're working on for that particular project, right? So it's not a long-term investment. And so the investments I look for when I'm bringing on equity partners for projects, one, can they bring any cash to front load costs? Can they bring any staff? Can they bring resources like apps, subscriptions, tools, proprietary information, or systems that can help solve problems faster, quicker, more efficiently? Can they bring information to the table? Do they know things I don't know? Do they know things that can certainly empower the customer? And then lastly, and perhaps more importantly, can they bring relationships to the table? These investments are critical. And perhaps for those of you that are seeking long term investments into your business and maybe not into a project, you might want to consider these categories for opportunities when you are exploring who to work with and why. When it comes to grants, I do want to reiterate this particular point. Number one, grants are primarily available for nonprofits. So this is something to think about as you explore grants. Nonprofits are business structures that are tax exempt. I do get a question all the time: should I launch a nonprofit so I can get grants? The answer quickly is no, because it's a different type of business that requires a different type of learning curve to operate it, just like it would take a learning curve to operate a for profit business in your market area, right? And it's specifically running a nonprofit business is a different type of way of thinking. There is profitability at the end. The key difference is that no one shares in the profits at the end of the fiscal year because those funds belong to the company, not to an individual. The other reason why you shouldn't start a nonprofit is because grants are not guaranteed. Grants are competitive for nonprofits as well. It's a very competitive business and industry to be in. And if you're new to this or you're not familiar with the industry, familiar with the players, competitors, friends, funders, funding sources, you're going to be sadly mistaken when you start to explore how can you engage and securing funding for a nonprofit. So you should not look to a nonprofit to solve financial problems if you think that getting a grant can fix things quickly and right away. This doesn't I don't this hope this doesn't deter you from launching a nonprofit if you feel that this is a part of your business model, what you're looking to do. But if you're simply looking for to create a nonprofit just to generate revenue, I would not encourage that. As I mentioned before, grants are not readily available for for-profit businesses as much as they are for nonprofits. But when they do become available, pay attention to those opportunities, pay attention to where they are, pay attention to how they show up. So, a couple places to look for grants. Number one, you can go to grantstation.com. You can also visit alice.com. You can also look at your local town, a municipality, where you live, where you do business, where you work. You can look at your state. All those areas may have grants at any given time for businesses, and there are other resources and places where you can find grants. So keep your ears out, keep your eyes open to hear and listen for opportunities, and let your friends, family, and network know that, hey, if you see a grant opportunity that you think I might qualify for, please do not hesitate to share that with me. Here's the last question that I have for funding strategies for your business. And it's this: how do you structure your pitches to attract investors or grant providers? Well, to answer this particular question, what I'm about to tell you is a strategy I use for proposals, for profit work, for grant proposals for our nonprofit clients. And I use five key questions to structure our pitches and proposals. These five key questions are relevant to the written proposal or the spoken proposal. You can call it a pitch, you can call it whatever you want. This could be utilized during the interview process, emails, text messages, marketing materials, etc. But you want to try to generally answer these five key questions to help you tell an effective story that can attract a partner, an investor, a funder, a client, if you will. First question is, where are we right now? Now, relative to your business, what's the truth about your business and the industry? What's the good, the bad, and the ugly? You want to be effective in kind of painting a picture of the right now moment. You may be in a season of your business where things are going super well. and you're learning some new things that's advancing the work, that's having a tremendous impact on your customers and your ability to perform. That's a right now story you might want to tell. You might want to tell the story that might not be so rosy, right? Right now, the industry is struggling. And here are some reasons why. We're seeing a decline in the order of these services or products. And here's a good reason why, right? It's bad, but these bad stories also have an opportunity for you to talk about, well, what you're going to do next, which is the next question. So when you tell the story of where we are right now, the good, the bad, and the ugly, but what's the vision for what's next? So if we're doing well, how do we position our company to do even greater things in the future that can be awesome and that can be sustainable for our business? Also, conversely, if we're not doing so well, what are we planning to do to counteract or to combat these challenges in the marketplace or with declining sales, declining interests, or declining revenues, etc.? Because the vision is all about building upon the reality of right now. So you cannot skip out on that first question of what's the reality right now, because if you do, you won't be able to tell a credible and compelling vision in the second question, which is where are you trying to go? All right. So, question three. The third question you want to ask yourself when you're setting up this pitch or telling your story is, well, how are we going to make this vision a reality? All right. What's those high level steps we're going to take? What are those high level goals that we care deeply about to make this vision a reality? You want to keep it super simple. 2 to 3 key strategies, 2 to 3 key goals, 2 to 3 key outcomes that you're looking to target. This leads to the fourth question because this is where you can be very specific. Based upon those 2 to 3 key goals or strategies, what's the detailed plan to make those things happen? And then the fifth strategy question is how do you measure success? You can measure success by a milestone or by hitting some outcomes and goals by a particular date or by accomplishing something that's really important, right? And when you combine all of your answers from these five strategy questions, what you'll notice is that you have a very compelling story. And this is powerful when you're pitching your company to a customer, a buyer, an investor, or someone who's looking to hire your company to provide a service or to develop or deliver a product. And so these are the five questions that I utilize on a regular basis. We coach our clients on these questions, and these questions guide a lot of what we do to do the work that we are engaged in. All right, so glad you're still hanging in there with me. Let's move on to the next section here, pricing strategies for your business. And want to answer these 6 questions that we received. So let's jump right in. Question number one: how do you gather feedback from customers regarding your pricing? I got 3 points here to help you process through this. Point number one: ask the potential customer what they're seeing in the marketplace. Don't be afraid to ask the customer. Don't be afraid to communicate to the customer and to explore from their perspective what they are seeing from a pricing perspective. And when you ask the customer, be gentle about this next part. Ask for proof, right? So customers can say a whole lot of things, but not have proof to substantiate what they're saying. The proof is not to prove the customer right. The proof is to help you frame out your understanding and to possibly contextualize what you are hearing from the customer as it relates to pricing in the marketplace. The second thing you want to do to gather feedback about pricing is to search the market for comparisons. So you should be really familiar with your industry, your market, competitors, other providers who are doing similar things, providing similar services and products that you are providing, so that you know who to talk to, where to look to find out what the market is charging. Because sometimes a customer may be coming to the market to buy a product or service, and they may not have done the research to know that to get what they're looking for, their research needs to be targeted in this particular area. They may be looking at a tangential or periphery resource that might not be the best resource to help frame out pricing solutions or pricing options for the product they're looking to purchase. But you should know that information, particularly as an expert in your area. And then lastly, if you want to get feedback about pricing, you can also talk to competitors. You should be able to reach out to those who are providing similar services. You shouldn't be so tight-fisted with information or relationships that you don't have anyone to turn to in the industry or the business. Even if you're competing for opportunities, understand that the information you gather and share is not going to make a difference as to whether you're hired or not, right? A customer is going to hire you because of you, because of your team, your resources, your capacity, your track record, customer reviews, etc. So depend upon your skill set. Don't rely upon competitive fear and let competitive fear stop you from talking to competitors. Here's a second question about pricing strategies. How do you balance customer preferences with the need to maintain profitability through pricing? Well, a couple of things here I want to share with you. Number one, you need to take charge and leadership in your business to price for value always. You need to focus on pricing for value always. You cannot price based upon customer fears, customers' expectations, customers' feedback, because sometimes customers may give you feedback that might not be able to be substantiated nor sustainable for the business that you are in. So, for example, if a customer comes to me and says, "Can you develop a strategic plan for $5,000?" Well, here's the short answer: I can develop a strategic plan for any price point. But the reality is, if you want a good strategic plan that's customized for your business or your nonprofit, that takes into account facts and information, history and research about your business, your industry, your competitors, your customers, your funders, and a forecasting of a future state that you have not considered yet, then a $5,000 price point won't get you that. Well, why is that? Well, because the $5,000 price point doesn't account for the amount of time that's needed to actually develop the plan and to invest successfully into creating a plan that you can be proud of, that you can utilize, that you can enact, that you can make active and really leverage for the future of your nonprofit business. So if you want that quality plan, you want the investment of time, resources, information, and people to do this work on your behalf is going to cost substantially much more than that, right? And so this is a part of the conversation that you got to have with customers. And what I found to be super successful is that when I'm talking to customers and substantiating the value that we are bringing and why, customers tend to adjust with us. There was one particular time, and I'm gonna go through the rest of these answers I have for you around balancing customer preferences. There was one particular project we were working with a customer, and we were very early in a relationship, and they had another project that they wanted to give us, and they ran down all the needs that they had, the entire scope, and they said, "Well, can you do all this for $5,000?" My reaction was that probably won't work out because this is at minimum a 52-week project. You're going to need the following services and resources and people. And if you're looking at this as a 52-week project or a 1 year project, then the price point is going to come in roughly way over $5,000. And the price point was well into the six figures. And the customer froze because they did not know what to put out there as a price point for this particular project, and they just thought that, well, maybe $5,000 would do it just to coordinate a few things. Well, when I went through the details of their scope of work and their needs, I wasn't being asked to coordinate a few things. I was asked to manage a project, manage stakeholders, manage resources, information, and bring it all together and land the plane successfully by September 2024. After the sticker shock, the customer said, "All right, let's go back to the drawing table and let's figure out where we can possibly get these funds from." And I got to tell you, they found the funds to pay our company for our services. It's a wonderful relationship with the customer, one of my favorite customers, and it's working out just well. And the truth is, what we projected as the amount of investment and time for this project was fairly accurate. That we're managing this project every specific detail on behalf of the customer, and we are being paid handsomely and respectively for our work. So don't be afraid to focus on pricing for value. Number two, we're answering the question how to balance customer preferences with the need to maintain profitability. Price to be competitive, right? So take my example, right? A $5,000 asking price from the customer versus what they're paying into the six figures. That is not competitive. That is no way realistic. It's definitely not profitable. but you got to price to be competitive for what others in the industry in your marketplace will charge to do the same amount of work. Number three, price for a thriving business. So your business is your lifeline. You're utilizing this business to serve customers, to make a difference in their lives, but also to provide for your family, to pay tuition, to pay mortgages and car notes and summer camp fees and vacations and retirement. Maybe you have an elderly parent that you are taking care of. There are tons of financial needs that you have, and this business provides that for you. You need a thriving business in order for you to be able to be around for years to serve your customers and to meet your needs. So you need a price for that. And then note that this is something that I think is super important. Your pricing will force you to identify the right type of customer for your business to serve. I'm going to read this again. Your pricing will force you to identify the right type of customer for your business to serve. When you go through this process, which all of us go through, do not fight this. Every potential customer is not your customer. All right. Every person that has some sense of interest in your product or service may not be the right one for you, primarily because their idea of pricing and budget may not align with the marketplace. It may not align with competitiveness. It may not align with profitability. It may not align with reality of what this really costs to bring to fruition. So this is important for you to understand that your pricing will filter out customers who are not a fit for you. So if that means letting go of customers that you currently have because you're looking to elevate pricing to provide a higher level of services, that means you're serving a different type of customer, different type of mentality, a different avatar of customers that are fit for your business. Question three. How do you ensure that your pricing aligns with the perceived value of your products or services to customers? I have a short answer here, and this answer really is transformational. Here it is. Value is based on your ability to deliver and perform. Value is based on your ability to deliver and perform. Yes, your customer needs to affirm that value, but again, go back to my previous answer. Not all clients or potential clients or customers are fit for your business. And because value will continue to escalate in your business, you continue to raise the bar of performance. That means that that comes with a higher price and a different customer. If you have not done so already, I strongly recommend that you purchase and download any books, teachings, materials from Alan Weiss. Alan Weiss, Weiss. He is the godfather of consulting. He has written many books on not only consulting, but he's written many books and resources on pricing for your business. And whether you are in a product business or a service business, his material is essential, in my opinion, to helping you understand how to price effectively, successfully, strategically, and lucratively for your business. Question number four. Should we charge our customers per item that we sell, or should we start a subscription business? My answer to that is you should have both if you're able to sustain both. A subscription business offers regular and projectable cash flow. So you can project out what your revenue is per month, per quarter, per year because of your subscription numbers. This gives you some sort of sense of what to expect from your measurement periods. Conversely, if you sell per item, this provides infrequent chunks of cash. So this may provide large chunks of cash, but it may be less frequent because you cannot predict customer purchasing behavior as well as you can through subscription. So if you can manage both and leverage both, I recommend that you do that. Number five, how do we set up pricing tiers for our business? Well, my rule of thumb is to keep it super simple. The more options you provide a customer, the more paralyzed they become with the decision making process. So you want to keep the decision making process super simple for your customers. I recommend having two, no more than three levels of pricing tiers for your customer to choose from so that they can have clear delineation between this or that or that. right? And you also, as you're developing your pricing tiers, develop your most beneficial product line for your customer at the highest level. Everything you're willing to offer, throw at them, make that the highest tier. And then after you do that analysis and assessment of that product, then take off a few items to develop your lesser tier items. So start with the high and work back. And it should be easy if you do this with 2 tiers, and if 3 tiers, again, just take off items along the way. So that would be super helpful. Someone to look at to help you understand how to stack value, how to communicate value, pricing tiers, pricing to generate the sale. Russell Brunson, anything he's written, you should buy. His trilogy around understanding customer pricing, marketing, positioning. I recommend you buy his stuff, his books. He also references Dan Kennedy as a pricing, marketing, sales guru. Jay Abrahams, one of my other favorites around marketing, geometric growth of your business, pricing strategically and intentionally. Myron Golden, again, just language, psychology around understanding how to price, how to market, how to position, whether you do tiers or not. And you can look at all of those folks and their products, Alan Weiss too. Look at their products on their website. Look how they price for tiers. They may have gotten to the point where they don't have tiers anymore. If they do have tiers, look at the differences. Look how simple it is. Choose one based upon your ability to afford it. Keep it simple. And they're not trying to convince you to buy their highest ticket item, because if you have to struggle to determine if I can afford this, you're not their main customer. So if you're only can afford a lower tier product, which is likely going to be a downloadable product, that's on demand product, a self managed product, an evergreen product, they are serving you as best as they can, but they're not giving all of you or the best, all of themselves or the best version of themselves to a lower tier customer. So they're focusing on the high end customers. This is a lesson to learn for yourself. How do you serve your high end customers well? And the tier structure can certainly help you with that. Last question under pricing strategies for your business. Last question here. How do you adjust pricing as the business grows? Well, you should adjust regularly. You can watch tons of YouTube videos on this. You can read the folks that I've just mentioned, their material. After you made a couple of sales and you're finding that people are calling you at a certain price point, it might be a good time to raise the prices just a little bit, because you want to continue to be a profitable business, but you don't want to be overly accessible to the point that people devalue your business. Now, this philosophy may be a little different for retail businesses where you're selling a product at a certain price point. Again, you want to make sure your pricing is competitive and consistent with the marketplace. For service-based businesses like mine, we have some luxury to fluctuate our prices and scale up because our competitors and the competition is based on value that we offer through a service, but product-based businesses may be a little different. So measure that, right? But just think about this. If you're successfully selling, then you might want to look at raising prices and this can go for products and service businesses too. You may realize that, you know what, I'm going to keep this particular product that's selling well at this price point, but I'm going to create a different product, a different service at a higher level. Again, this is tier based, that is more exclusive, more higher price. It's even better than the first one that I got going, that's going pretty well. And those who want to elevate their investment with our company or elevate their engagement with us, they can do so at this higher tier, right? So that's another way of looking at developing tiers and tiered pricing. So you should adjust your pricing regularly based on customer engagement, based on the marketplace, based on value, and based on your business goals. So we've made it through our two questions or two topics here: funding and pricing strategies for your business. And I appreciate all the questions that were submitted and shared. I do hope that what was shared today was helpful to you on your journey. Now, I want to encourage you as you are processing through what was shared, you will receive a downloadable link to continue to watch this information, to listen to a replay it, etc. Whatever you got to do, get access to this information. So I'm super thrilled and happy to share this with you. But I also want to challenge you to continue to educate yourself. The reason you were on this call today, the reason you signed up to be a part of this call, the reason you decided to take the time out of your business to engage in this conversation is because you were interested in learning. And if that is the case, then I believe that you have capacity to continue the learning process. Make time to learn, make time to grow, make time to get better at your craft, make time to build your business with new information, better information. Don't be afraid of your competitors. Don't have competitive fear, right? Be ready to engage. Don't allow the newness of your business or the perception that you're a newbie to hold you back from digging deep, from selling, from pitching, because one of the greatest teachers is not only studying those who have done it before, but also failure. Failure is a wonderful teacher. And the more you're able to fail forward, the more you're going to elevate, escalate, speed up your learning process and what you are able to develop within your business. I'm a big believer in this stuff. I'm a big believer in ongoing development and investment. Going to encourage you to continue to buy the books of the authors that I've highlighted. Watch their YouTube videos, take any of their courses, whatever you're able to afford. Download resources that they have. Folks that you follow on YouTube, social media, elsewhere, look at what they're teaching, listen intently, purchase their products, their audiobooks. If you're a business owner, you may not have time to sit down and read like you used to or like you would like to. Audiobooks, audio material that you can listen to while doing something else could be a super impactful way of speeding up your investment. Lastly, I've learned that heard this today by Cody Sanchez, and you should look up her information on YouTube, any of her books that she's written, articles that she's written. She mentioned something that I heard just the other day. She said that if you could steal someone else's 10,000 hours, you could speed up your growth tremendously because their 10,000 hours represents years of learning, years of education, years of hard knocks, years of pain that they've developed to become who they are, hopefully a super successful person. Your ability to develop a relationship with that person or to read their books, their material, to listen to their YouTube videos, their podcasts, attend a conference where they're speaking, your ability to steal their 10,000 hours can give you just a day or days worth of information that can help you get from point A to point B. And it won't take you 10,000 hours to get there because you've leveraged their material. The ongoing education of small business owners, business leaders, etc., is essential to your ongoing growth and sustainability and success of your business. Leverage someone else's 10,000 hours, read their books. Going to encourage you to visit me at drwilliampclark.com. Download, access, purchase any of my resources there. While we do focus on nonprofit organizations, our material is good for small business owners too, because the mentality, the psychology, the strategies that we teach our nonprofit clients I've gotten from the for-profit businesses I've learned. It comes from my personal experiences. It comes from my years of experience in the nonprofit industry, and it's good information cross sector. So go to drwilliampclark.com to access those resources. Also, visit me at elipatrick.com if you would like to learn more about our core services that we can possibly help provide for your business or your nonprofit organization. Again, that's elipatrick.com. Lastly, you can follow me on any and all social media platforms at Dr. William P. Clark. Again, that's Dr. William P. Clark. It has been my pleasure to share this time with you. Go forth, be great, and I look forward to hearing about your success.